Hi guys, good afternoon. Like I said, this week I'm trying out different times. So now I'm trying out about 1:30. I have to say, oh my gosh, my hair's a mess. I have to say that I really do enjoy the lives in the morning. So I don't know if this is working out exactly for me, but we'll see. Try everything once, right? That's what I always say. I'll wait a couple seconds for people to join. Hello, hello. Thank you for showing up. Thanks, guys. Just wait. Guys, my hair is terrible. My roots are coming in already. Going from dark to light with your hair is not a simple thing. Just giving everybody the heads up. Alright, cool. I am going to, and I always say I'm going to make this quick, but I want to talk about the angels today. So this is a little bit of spiritual teaching. So, which is one of my favorite topics. I've gotten really, really into angels lately. And, they've been really, really making it clear that they're showing up in my life. So I wanted to kind of pass along the information on how you can tell that an angel is trying to contact you. So, or communicate with you, or let them know that they're there. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Justine Leslie. I'm a spiritual coach. I'm also I'm a spiritual coach, and with that, sorry, I'm a little distracted. What I do is, if I could sum it up, is I help people get spiritually connected. I help people empower their intuition, and I help people heal themselves. I also am an intuitive empath, and I mentor other empaths and HSPs. If you think that you may be one and feel energy very deeply, please message me. We can talk about that. And I also study and do other healing modalities like crystal healing and angel card reading. So if you guys are interested in that type of stuff, and you know, I've been thinking about starting to do my angel card readings live. I've been thinking about that. I wonder how many people would actually be interested in that. But sometimes when I channel, I look a little weird. So I don't want to freak anybody out, so I'm going to wait on that. But, okay, cool. So let's just get into it about the angels. A lot of people think that angels is more of a religious thing, especially if you come from a Catholic background like I do. But it's actually not. Angels are, they're a form of spirit guide that we have that's on the other side, and they show up more often than not. How to be positive in your bad times. Do you want that to be a live? Because I can do that. That's actually a really good topic. Let me know. Sorry, I'm also reading the comments as we go. So, and I want to, you know, there's a reason that a lot of this isn't structured. I'm not exactly a structured person, right? So I just want to be authentic and talk from a more casual conversation flow, right? So, like I was saying, angels, they are guides from the other side, and they show up more often than we think. We're just not, we're not paying attention most of the time. At least that's what I find. And, they are trying to communicate with us, and we kind of brush it off, but there's some things intuitively we just know, and this is how I have found out that they are communicating with me, right? It's an intuitive process, so being very in tune with your intuition, you can be able to I noticed that number one, you're able to recognize it more, and number two, you're able to bring it in more, right? You're able to call it in, right? So, intuition, right? I've been thinking a lot about intuition too, and I think I'm going to go live about that tomorrow, early in the morning, I think I'm going back to mornings, but, so yeah, so I wanted to share 3 ways. if you're in the spiritual community already and you've been studying spirituality for a while, these are pretty obvious. Sometimes it's not to a lot of people. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what they are. Number one is numerology and numbers, right? So I would say it's the number one way for angels to try to communicate with you. And I love when I'm around people and they see 1111 and they make a wish. I don't know where the Make-A-Wish thing came from. I'll have to kind of research it, but that's really angel numbers. That is the number one number pattern, even if it's 11111, that I have noticed that is a surefire way for the angels to show up. I'll actually tell you a quick story. I went to a past life regression hypnosis session, and this was in New York City, and I went for my session, and it lasted about an hour, but the angels did visit me in the session, and that's a whole nother story, but basically, they were kind of laughing at me because they know that I don't have to go to a hypnosis session to speak with them. I could speak with them in heavy meditations in my everyday life, in prayer, and I don't have to, pay so much money for a hypnosis session. So they were kind of laughing at me. And yes, they do have a sense of humor. But as soon as I left the session, I was sick that day. I remember I was very sick, and I couldn't breathe out of my nose, and my throat hurt. So going home, I stopped at the Chinese food place on the corner, and I ordered a large wonton soup. And there was one other thing, I think. I'm not really sure, but it doesn't matter what my order was. But basically, I made the order, and he tells me the total, and he says the total is $11.11. You should have seen my face. I just was like, what? And he's like, $11.11. So I paid him $11.11. It's not a coincidence, guys, right? The angels are making themselves present, and they're letting me know that they're around, which I already know because I was just speaking with them. So it's funny things like that. And, a lot of people would say, that's just coincidence. But if you are really conscious, you do understand that there's no such thing as coincidence. So, and that is definitely one of my truths. There is really no such thing as coincidence. But okay, so that was my little story. But yeah, numbers and numerology, look for number patterns. And also, if you don't know what the number pattern is, I have it here. Oh, here it is. There's this woman. She's an angel intuitive. Her name is, and she does a ton of other things, but her name is Doreen Virtue. And she is one of the spiritual leaders that I love and I trust. And she has this book right here. Can you guys see that? Angel Numbers 101, Doreen Virtue. All of the numbers, right? If you keep seeing angels are real, I agree. Yes, of course they're real. So all the numbers are in here. Every single number up into, and let me see here, I never went to the end, 999. So all number patterns are, thanks Mike, we tried with the lighting. So yeah, so definitely get this book. It's not that expensive either. $10, $9.99, right? So definitely get it for reference. The angels are trying to give you a message, and numbers are the number one way that they do it, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, number 2, and I actually haven't seen this. This didn't start happening to me up until a year ago. No, not even. I would even say 6 months ago. Maybe 8 months. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But the number 2 thing that angels use to communicate with you is feathers. I have heard about this for about 4 to 5 years ago when I first got into all this stuff. I had heard about that, and I was upset because I never saw feathers. So I finally started seeing them about 8 months ago, and that's when the angels started really showing up. That's where the number patterns really started getting more abundant, I guess is the word. But yeah, if you see feathers, right? And I know, right, people can say they come from birds, but sometimes, it was freaking me out because I was finding them in my house, and there's no birds here. Okay, I can tell you that, and they come, then, I was in Hawaii, opened my door, and there's just a feather just staring straight down at me, just like right there. And it's not a coincidence, guys. These things aren't coincidences. So they're being dropped there for a reason, to show that they're present, right? So that's the number 2, and I'm actually really, really happy that it's been happening to me. So that's exciting. That means that they're around and they're making it clear. And the third thing, actually, I haven't really experienced, but I have heard so many stories about this. Coins, pennies, nickels, dimes, whatever it is, being left in random places and then showing up in the most inopportune times. Again, not a coincidence. This is actually, like I said, something that hasn't personally happened to me. But also, I just want to add that it can be a sign of the angels, but also of other spirit guides, and also of people that have, have passed. So, what is that? Sorry. Of people that have passed. So, and usually it's a pattern, I notice. Like, if it's pennies, it's always pennies. If it's dimes, it's always dimes. But, yeah, that can be a sign of the angels, but again, of spirit guides or loved ones that have passed and want to make themselves present. So, one thing I want to say about all of this, right? Because as I'm talking, I'm hearing myself talk, and I am thinking about what other people are thinking, right? And if you don't have an open mind, or you're not very intuitive, you're not going to understand this. You're going to think it's out of the ordinary. You're going to think these are all coincidences, because your core values tell you that coincidences exist, right? So I can't sit here and convince you that this is true. This is an intuitive process, and I am an intuitive, so I know in my heart to be true that these are direct signs from the angels, and I know it happens to other people as well. And if you are thinking that you're going crazy or whatnot with all of these signs and symbols, because I know that, like, a lot of times in spirituality, it could freak people out. Like, even I was freaked out with the feathers in my house and all this stuff, but it's not fear. That's, and I'm not going to tell you how to feel, but I think a lot of people don't want to feel it or believe it because it's linked to fear, right? Because all of this is, although angels exist, they don't exist in the same dimension, world, reality, whatever you want to call it. It's on a different plane. And I think what it is that people, there are some people that claim that a lot of this is dumb or stupid because they are afraid to acknowledge that things can cross over, right? So I think that's part of it, years ago, I think I would have had the same thoughts, so no judging, but I'm just kind of putting it out there. I guess I'm also putting out there, be as open-minded as you can. I think it's a practice, right? Like, I think a lot of people are not open to this idea of angels being present in our life, but it brings a lot of comfort, joy. I've been having an issue feeling safe a lot, and I think that's why my angels are showing up, right? To kind of help me through things that I don't feel safe about, and things that are hard for me, or, I'm about to experience a lot of change, or whatever it is. They show up to know that they're there for you. So utilize them, right? So, I guess what I'm saying is just be a little bit more open-minded. So, and just to recap, because this is what the whole live was about, and I kind of went off on a little tangent, but I don't know, it's important to me, and I think it's important to see other perspectives, and I think having angels in your life is really a beautiful thing. So, just to recap, 3 signs that your angels may be trying to communicate with you. Number 1, numbers. That is super common. Look for number patterns. Buy that book, what's it called? Angel Numbers 101. Very simple, by Doreen Virtue. A really good encyclopedia of all the number patterns. Number 2, feathers. Number 3, money, like pennies, dimes, nickels, in the least opportune places, are usually signs from the angels, or that one could particularly be different spirit guides and such. So, alrighty. I think that's enough for today. Thank you everybody for joining. Again, thank you for being open-minded. I will throw a scheduler in the comments if you guys want to jump on a call with me and see how we can work together, or if you just want to chat, whatever floats your boat, I'm around. So I will throw it in there, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I am also going to go live tomorrow, but I'm doing it in the morning. I'm going back to mornings, at least mornings on the East Coast, right? Eastern time zone. It's just, I feel more energized, and I think of protecting your energy is, the best thing that you can do, especially if I'm doing a lot of like spiritual teaching. I need to be at my highest of my high energy. So I will be here tomorrow morning. So I will see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Mike. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.